The Endurance hummed through the void, its hull creaking like an old house in a storm. Admiral Lena Korsakov leaned over the command console, her fingers tracing the worn edges of a touchscreen older than half her crew. The bridge smelled of recycled air and burnt coffee, a faint tang of metal underscoring the ship's age. Outside, the galaxy sprawled, an endless sea of stars, punctuated by the neon glow of Concorde relay stations, beacons of a civilization that tolerated humans but never trusted them. Earth, a speck in the Orion Arm, was a death world to the Galactic Concorde, a place of impossible extremes, hurricanes, volcanoes, predators, disease. They'd let humans join their ranks after the war 50 years ago, but only barely, and with chains trade sanctions, military caps, constant surveillance. Lena's eyes flicked to the holodisplay as a priority message pinged, its sharp chime cutting through the bridge's low chatter. "Vrix, get over here," she called, her voice rough but steady, honed by decades of command. The Tolleron liaison glided forward, his four limbs moving with liquid grace, his voice a melodic hum through the translator. "Admiral, I assume this is another human error in protocol?" Vrix's tone dripped with condescension, typical of the Concorde's dominant species, who saw humans as barely civilized. She ignored him, tapping the display. The message unfolded, a cold bureaucratic decree from the Concorde's High Council. Earth is in violation of Treaty 7B. Section 12. Surrender all orbital defense platforms within 72 standard hours, or face enforcement action. Lena's jaw tightened. Enforcement meant ships, hundreds of them, sleek and bristling with weapons humanity couldn't match. The crew went silent, eyes darting between her and the screen. "They're coming for our last line of defense," she said, not looking up. "They think we'll roll over." Murmurs rippled across the bridge. Ensign Patel, barely 20, spoke first, his voice tight. "Ma'am, we can't fight the Concorde. Their fleet's 1,000 strong. We've got, what, 50 ships, half of them freighters." Engineer Ruiz, older, grizzled, snorted from her station. "Doesn't matter. We've got no choice. They take those platforms, Earth's naked." Vrix tilted his head, his faceted eyes glinting. "Compliance is logical. Your species survived the last war by submitting. Why risk annihilation now?" Lena's gaze hardened, her mind flashing to memories she'd buried deep. The war, 50 years back, when Earth was a burning wreck, cities reduced to ash by Concorde bombardments. Humanity had fought with whatever they could, scavenged shuttles turned into fighters, satellites rigged as bombs. She was a teenager then, watching her brother die in a cobbled-together ship, screaming defiance into the void. They'd lost, but they'd survived, clawing their way into the Concorde's grudging acceptance. Never again, she'd sworn. Never again would humanity kneel. She straightened, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. "We're not surrendering. They want our defenses. They'll have to come take them." The crew stared, some nodding, others pale. Patel swallowed hard but squared his shoulders. Ruiz grinned, already tinkering with a diagnostic panel, muttering about hot wiring the old girl. Vrix's hum faltered. "This is madness. You cannot win." Lena ignored him, turning to the nav officer. "Plot a course to relay station. Gamma 4. It's the Concorde's nearest com hub." "We hit that, we buy time." The officer Chun hesitated. "Ma'am, that's a fortified station. We're a freighter, not a warship." Lena's lips twitched, almost a smile. "Exactly. They won't see us coming." The Endurance banked, engines groaning as it veered toward the relay station, a glowing spindle against the black. Lena's mind raced, piecing together a plan. The Concorde relied on rigid tactics, predictable as clockwork. Humans didn't. Earth's history was a litany of surviving the impossible ice ages, plagues, wars. That chaos, that adaptability, was their edge. She glanced at Vrix, who was tapping his communicator, likely reporting to his superiors. Let him. He'd see soon enough what humans could do. Hours later, the relay station loomed, a lattice of alien tech orbiting a gas giant's moon. Lena gathered the crew in the cargo bay, their breaths misting in the cold. "We're not here to fight," she said, her voice low but firm. "We're here to disrupt. Hack their comms, send fake signals, make their fleet chase ghosts. Every hour we delay is an hour Earth prepares." Ruiz raised a hand, holding a jury-rigged device cobbled from spare parts. "This'll scramble their relays, but we'll need to get close, dangerously close." Patel shifted nervously. "If they catch us, we're done." "Then we don't get caught," Lena said. "We're Deathworlders. We've survived worse." The words hung heavy, a reminder of Earth's brutal legacy. Vrix, standing at the edge, clicked his mandibles. "Your confidence is irrational. The Concord systems are impenetrable." Lena met his gaze. "Nothing's impenetrable, not to us." The operation began at 0300 ship time. The Endurance drifted toward the station, cloaked in a jury-rigged stealth field, a human trick, using electromagnetic noise to mimic cosmic radiation. Lena stood on the bridge, watching the station's sensors sweep past them. "Now, Ruiz," she whispered into her cum. Below, Ruiz and her team plugged their device into an external port, accessed via daring spacewalk. Sparks flew as human code, messy but brilliant, clashed with alien protocols. The station's comms flickered, then broadcast static, a flood of false coordinates, phantom fleet movements. Vrix's eyes widened, his translator spitting static. "This should not work. Your technology is decades behind ours." Lena smirked. "That's the thing, Vrix. We don't need fancy. We just need to be stubborn." The crew cheered quietly as the station's lights dimmed, its systems in chaos. But the victory was short-lived. A Concord patrol ship, sleek and deadly, emerged from the gas giant's shadow, its scanners locking onto the Endurance. "Engines." "Full burn," Lena barked. The ship lurched, diving toward the gas giant's rings. Alarms blared as the patrol ship fired, a warning shot grazing their hull. "They're hailing us," Chun said, voice shaking. Lena shook her head. No response. "They want to talk. They can chase us." The Endurance wove through the rings, ice and rock pinging off its shields. Human pilots, trained in Earth's turbulent skies, danced through the debris with a precision that made Vrix grip the console. In the chaos, Lena's mind drifted to the war again. She saw her brother's ship, a patchwork of steel and hope, spiraling into a Concord cruiser. He'd laughed before the end, defiant. That was humanity outgunned. Outnumbered, but never outfought. "Never again," she muttered, gripping the console. The patrol ship gained, but the Endurance had one last trick. Ruiz's voice crackled through the cum. "Ready, ma'am. Deploying chaff." A cloud of reflective debris erupted behind them, scattering the patrol's sensors. The Endurance slipped into the gas giant's storms, its hull groaning under the pressure. Lena exhaled, her heart pounding. They'd bought time, but the Concord would come harder now. She turned to the crew, their faces lit by the flickering console lights. "Good work," she said. "But this is just the start. Earth's waiting. We don't let them down." The Endurance shuddered as it emerged from the gas giant's storms, its hull scarred by debris, but intact. Admiral Lena Korsakov stood rigid on the bridge, her eyes locked on the holodisplay. The Concord patrol ship had lost them in the rings. But it wouldn't stay blind for long. The crew worked in tense silence, their breaths sharp in the recycled air. Ensign Patel monitored the scanners, his fingers twitching. Engineer Ruiz hunched over her console, muttering curses as she coaxed the engines back to full power. Vrix, the Teleron liaison, stood apart, his faceted eyes reflecting the dim bridge lights, his translator humming faintly. "Your escape was improbable," he said, voice clipped. But the Concorde will not tolerate this defiance. Lena didn't respond. Her mind was on the plan: disrupt the Concorde's fleet coordination, delay their assault on Earth. The hack at Relay Station Gamma 4 had sent their comms into chaos, but it was a pinprick. They needed a bigger strike. Chun, plot a course to Relay Cluster Epsilon, she ordered. The nav officer hesitated. Ma'am, that's a primary hub. It's guarded by automated defenses and at least 3 frigates. Lena's lips tightened. Good. They'll be too busy protecting it to chase us. The crew exchanged glances. But no one argued. They'd seen her pull off the impossible before. Lena turned to Ruiz. Can you scale up that hack? Hit multiple relays at once? Ruiz grinned, her hands already flying over a tablet. Give me an hour. I'll cook up a virus old school, Earth style. Messy, but it'll spread like wildfire. Vrix clicked his mandibles. Your reliance on obsolete technology is illogical. Lena shot him a look. Obsolete's why it works. Your systems don't know how to handle our junk. The Endurance burned toward Epsilon, cloaked in its makeshift stealth field. Lena gathered the team in the mess hall, the hum of the engines, underscoring her words. We're not blowing up the cluster, she said. We're ghosting it. Ruiz's virus will spoof their relays, make their fleet think Earth's already under attack. They'll scatter, buying us days. Patel frowned. What if they figure it out? Lena's voice was steel. Then we make sure they're too busy to care, Ruiz delivered. Her virus, a tangle of human code slapped together from pre-Concorde archives, was loaded into a probe. The Endurance crept toward the cluster, a web of glowing relays orbiting a neutron star. The frigates patrolled in precise arcs, their sensors sweeping the void. Lena held her breath as Chun nudged the ship into a debris field, masking there. Approach. Launch probe, she whispered. The probe streaked toward the nearest relay, its signal piggybacking on a routine maintenance ping. Contact. The relay's lights flickered, then pulsed erratically as the virus spread. The bridge erupted. In quiet cheers, Patel pumped a fist. It's working. Relays 2 and 3 are down, Ruiz cackled, slapping her console. Told you Earth tech's a nightmare, Vrix's translator stuttered. This violates all known protocols. Your code is chaos, Lena smirked. Chaos is our specialty. The holodisplay showed the virus leaping relay to relay, broadcasting fake distress calls. Earth ships attacking, Concorde outposts falling. The frigates broke formation, racing to respond to phantom threats. But the Concorde wasn't stupid. A command ship, angular and bristling with turrets, emerged from the neutron star's shadow. Its scanners locked onto the probe's origin point, the Endurance. Alarms blared. They've got us. Chun shouted, hands flying over the controls. Lena's voice cut through the panic. Evasive pattern Delta, now. The ship lurched, diving toward the neutron star's gravity well. The command ship fired, plasma bolts searing the void. A hit grazed their port shield, sparks raining across the bridge. Shields at 60%, Patel yelled. Lena gripped the console, her mind racing. Earth's history flashed through her guerrilla fighters outsmarting empires, pilots dodging. Storms, Ruiz, reroute power to thrusters. Chun slingshot us around the star. Vrix's hum rose in pitch. That maneuver is suicidal. The gravity, Lena snapped, not for us. Chun grinned, his hand steady despite the shaking ship. The Endurance screamed into the gravity well, its frame groaning as it skimmed the star's edge. The command ship followed, but its bulk struggled, sensors faltering in the radiation. The slingshot worked. The Endurance shot out, leaving the command ship lagging. But the victory was short-lived. A new signal pinged, an elite Concorde hunter ship, smaller, faster, designed to track prey. Its silhouette appeared on the holodisplay, closing fast. They're jamming our stealth field, Patel said, voice tight. Lena's eyes narrowed. Then we stop hiding. Head for the asteroid belt, full speed. The belt loomed, a churning sea of rock and ice. The Endurance wove through, its pilots leaning on reflexes honed by Earth's chaotic skies. The hunter ship pursued, its precision unnerving. Lena turned to Ruiz. Anything left in your bag of tricks? Ruiz nodded, already wiring a spare. Come, I can spoof a distress signal, make 'em think we're crippled. Might buy us a minute. She worked fast, her tools sparking. The signal went out, a fake plea for rescue. The hunter ship slowed, cautious. Lena exhaled, but her gut twisted. The Concorde wasn't done. On the holo display, the command ship rejoined the hunt, its repairs faster than expected. Vrix's voice broke the silence. Your tactics are unexpected. But you cannot outrun them forever. Lena met his gaze. We don't need forever, just long enough. The crew braced as the Endurance dove deeper into the belt. Lena's mind churned, piecing together the next move. The virus had bought Earth time, but the hunter ship was a problem. She remembered Earth's old wars, ambushes, traps, misdirection. Patel, scan for volatile asteroids, she said. Anything with methane ice. He nodded, his scanner pinging. Got one, 2 clicks out. Lena's voice was calm, deadly. Chun, graze it. Ruiz, prep a flare. The ship veered, skimming the asteroid. Ruiz fired a flare, igniting the methane in a brief, blinding explosion. The hunter ship swerved. Its sensors scrambled. The Endurance slipped into a crevasse, powering down to minimal. Silence fell, broken only by the crew's ragged breaths. The hunter ship's signal faded, but Lena knew it was still out there searching. She turned to the crew, their faces lit by the dim console glow. We hit them hard, she said, but they're coming harder. Earth's counting on us. We don't stop. Ruiz nodded, already tweaking her virus for the next strike. Patel's hands steadied. Even Vrix was quiet, his earlier scorn replaced by something like awe. Lena's eyes flicked to the holo display. The asteroid built a maze around them. The hunter ship was close. Too close. But humans had survived worse. They'd survive this. The Endurance crouched in the asteroid crevasse, its systems whispering on minimal power. The hunter ship's scanners pulsed through the belt, a predator sniffing for blood. Admiral Lena Korsakov stood on the bridge, her breath shallow, eyes fixed on the holo display. The crew held still, their silence heavy with the weight of survival. Ensign Patel's fingers hovered over the scanner, tracking the hunter's movements. Engineer Ruiz clutched her tablet, ready to reboot systems at a moment's notice. Vrix, the Teleron liaison, stood rigid, his translator emitting a faint hum. Your gambit with the asteroid was clever, he murmured. But this ship is relentless. It will find you. Lena's voice was low, sharp. Then we make it regret trying, she nodded to Chun. Ease us out, slow. Keep the rocks between us. The Endurance crept forward, its hull scraping against stone, the sound a dull groan in the recycled air. The hunter ship's signal grew stronger, its silhouette slicing through the belt's chaos. Lena's mind raced, drawing on Earth's brutal lessons: wolves outrunning bears, prey turning predator. They couldn't outgun the hunter, but they could outthink it. Patel, any wrecks in this belt? She asked. He tapped his console, brow furrowed. Old mining drone, half a click out. Dead, but intact. Lena's lips twitched. Perfect. Ruiz, can you rig it to broadcast our signature? Ruiz grinned, already pulling tools. Give me 10 minutes. I'll make it sing like the Endurance. The crew moved fast, Ruiz and a tech team suiting up for a quick spacewalk to the drone. Lena turned to the comms. Open a channel, all. Frequencies, let's talk. Chun hesitated. Ma'am, they'll trace it. Lena nodded. That's the point. She leaned into the mic, her voice cold, deliberate. Concord vessel, this is Admiral Korsakov of Earth. You want us? Come get us, but know this, we don't break. Never again. The words echoed, a defiance rooted in humanity's scars. The hunter ship paused, its scanners narrowing. Vrix's mandibles clicked. You provoke them. Why? Lena didn't look. At him, because humans don't hide, we fight. Ruiz's voice crackled through the cum. Drones hot. Broadcasting our signal. Lena gave the order. Chun, full burn, opposite vector. The Endurance roared to life, weaving through the belt as the drone blared a false signature. The hunter ship pivoted, locking onto the decoy. A salvo of plasma bolts lanced out, obliterating the drone in a silent flash. The crew exhaled, but Lena's gut twisted. The hunter's captain wasn't fooled for long. Its scanners swept back. Faster now, angrier. New signal, Patel said, voice tight. They're hailing us. Lena shook her head. Ignore it. Head for the belt's edge. The Endurance danced through the rocks, human reflexes pushing the ship to its limits. The hunter followed, relentless, its shots grazing closer. A hit rocked the starboard hull, alarms screaming. Shields at 30%, Chun shouted. Lena gripped the console, her mind flashing to Earth's old wars, soldiers holding lines against impossible odds, refusing to yield. Never again. Patel froze. Ma'am, intercepted Concord transmission. They're planning to glass Earth cities if we don't surrender. The bridge went silent, the words a gut punch. Ruiz swore softly. Chun's hands faltered. Even Vrix's hum stopped. Patel's voice cracked. We can't win this, maybe. Maybe we should stand down, save lives. Lena's eyes burned. Voice barely a whisper. Save lives? By letting them chain us again. You know what happened last time. Decades of sanctions, our people starving, our world on its knees. Never again means never. She turned to the crew, their faces lit by flickering alarms. Earth's a death world. We've survived ice, fire, beasts, disease. We didn't do it by surrendering. We did it by fighting smarter, harder, dirtier. The Concord thinks we're weak because we're young, because our tech's old. But that's our strength. They don't know us. Her words steadied them. Patel's hands returning to his console, Ruiz nodding fiercely. Vrix's eyes glinted, his scorn replaced by something new, curiosity. Maybe respect. Chun, plot a course back to that wrecked drone's debris, Lena ordered. Ruiz, rig a charge, anything volatile. Ruiz scrambled, pulling the fuel. Cell from the engine bay. The Endurance looped back, dodging the hunter's fire. Chun skinned the debris field, the ship's frame shuddering. Ruiz launched the charge, a crude bomb disguised as wreckage. Lena held her breath. The hunter ship, overconfident, barreled through the field. The charge detonated, a bloom of fire and shrapnel ripping into its hull. The hunter's engines flickered, its pursuit faltering. The crew roared, but Lena stayed focused. Get us. Clear, Chun. Now. The Endurance broke free of the belt, burning toward open space. Patel's scanner pinged. Hunter's limping, but it's still active. And Concord commands redirecting the main fleet. They know we're behind the relay hacks. Lena nodded, unsurprised. The virus had scattered their forces, but the Concord was regrouping, their sights set on Earth. Time was running out. Vrix stepped forward, his voice softer. Your species, you fight when logic demands surrender. Why? Lena met his gaze, her voice raw. Because we've lost too much to give up now. Earth's our home, Vrix. It made us hard, mean, stubborn. We don't quit. Vrix was silent, his translator quiet. Then, a faint nod. I begin to understand. The holodisplay flickered, showing the new signal human ships, freighters, and shuttles, rallying near Earth. Lena's chest tightened. They'd heard her broadcast, her defiance. The hack had spread beyond the relays, leaking onto civilian channels. Across the galaxy, other species oppressed, forgotten were listening, whispering about the Deathworlders who dared challenge the Concord. The spark was spreading. Lena turned to the crew. We've bloodied their nose, but the real fight's coming. Earth's readying what we've got, every ship, every gun. We head home, join the line. Chun plotted the course, the Endurance's engines roaring. Ruiz patched the shields, her hands steady. Patel's scanner swept for threats. Vrix watched, silent, his allegiance shifting. Lena's eyes flicked to the stars, Earth a distant speck. The hunter ship was behind them, wounded but alive. The Concord's fleet was closing, but humanity wasn't done. Never again. The Endurance screamed through hyperspace, its engines straining as it raced toward Earth. Admiral Lena Korsakov stood on the bridge, her hands gripping the console, the hum of recycled air thick with tension. The hollow display showed a ragtag. Fleet assembling in Earth's orbit, freighters, shuttles, even civilian yachts, all armed with whatever humans could scavenge. The Concord's main fleet, a swarm of sleek warships, loomed closer, their signals a cold promise of retribution. Ensign Patel's scanner pinned relentlessly, tracking their approach. Engineer Ruiz patched the Endurance's hull, her tools sparking. Vrix, the Telleran liaison, stood silent, his earlier doubts replaced by a quiet intensity. Lena's broadcast never again had ignited something, not just on Earth but across the galaxy. Tith, Etis Earth. 10 minutes, Chun reported, his voice steady despite the odds. Lena nodded, her mind sharp, drawing on Earth's brutal history. Armies outmanned but never outfought, cities rising from ash. Ruiz, how's our payload? She asked. Ruiz grinned, wiping sweat from her brow. Rigged and ready. EMP warheads cobbled from old satellites. They'll fry Concord circuits, Vrix's translator hummed. Your weapons are crude, yet effective. I did not anticipate this. Lena's eyes flicked to him. You don't survive a death world by playing fair. The Endurance dropped into Earth's orbit, the planet a blue-green jewel scarred by old war wounds, cratered cities, blackened plains. The human fleet, a patchwork of defiance, formed a loose perimeter. Lena opened a channel to the fleet. All ships, this is Korsakov. They're coming to break us. We don't let them. Hit hard, hit smart, never again. Voices crackled back. Pilots, mechanics, farmers turned fighters, their resolve a chorus of human grit. The Concord fleet emerged, a wall of gleaming metal, their weapons charging. Lena's plan was desperate but simple. Use Earth's chaos, its storms, volcanoes, magnetic fields to disrupt the Concord's precision. Chun, take us low, into the Pacific storm belt, she ordered. The Endurance dove, skimming a hurricane's edge, its winds battering the hull. Concord ships followed, their sensors flickering in the electromagnetic maelstrom. Human ships darted through the chaos, their pilots weaving like hawks in a gale, a skill born of Earth's unforgiving skies. Launch EMPs, Lena said. Ruiz fired the warheads, repurposed satellites streaking into the Concord formation. They detonated in silent pulses, frying guidance systems. Concord ships veered, collisions sparking in the storm's haze. The human fleet struck, freighters unloading salvaged missiles, shuttles ramming weak points. Lena's voice roared over the coms, broadcasting in Telleran, Krill, and a dozen other languages. This is Earth. You pushed us down once. Never again. The words, raw and fierce, echoed through the void, a warning to the galaxy. Vrix stepped forward, his translator steady. I can amplify your signal, Admiral. Reach every Concord world, Lena nodded. Do it. Vrix patched into the Endurance's comes, his alien tech boosting the broadcast. Across the galaxy, oppressed species Zalari miners, Krill exiles heard humanity's defiance, their own whispers of rebellion growing louder. The Concorde fleet faltered, their commanders rattled by the chaos and the spreading unrest. A Concorde battleship targeted the Endurance, its cannons locking. Shun swerved, diving into a volcanic ash cloud over Iceland, the ship's hull screaming. "Shields critical!" Patel shouted. Lena's eyes narrowed. "Hold course." Ruiz, one more EMP. Ruiz slammed the controls, launching their last warhead. It struck the battleship's core, shorting its systems. The giant drifted, powerless as human ships swarmed, their makeshift weapons tearing into its hull. The Concorde fleet began to fracture, some ships retreating, others caught in Earth's unpredictable terrain. Lena's holodisplay showed the tide-turning human losses were heavy, but the Concorde was breaking. She opened a channel to their flagship. "Stand down, or we keep fighting. You know what we're capable of." The response was silence, then a curt signal, withdrawal. The Concorde ships pulled back, their formation crumbling under Earth's relentless defiance. The Endurance limped into high orbit, its crew battered but alive. Lena exhaled, her hands trembling for the first time. The holodisplay showed Earth's fleet half destroyed, but unbowed. Patel's voice cracked with relief. "We did it, ma'am. They're running." Ruiz laughed, exhausted. "Deathworlders 1, Galaxy 0. Vrix's hum was soft. "Your species, you are not what we thought. You are more." Lena didn't respond, her eyes on Earth. The Concorde would return, maybe not today, but someday. But humanity had won a seat at the table, not as conquerors but as a reminder. Push a Deathworld species too far, and they'll push back. Hard. She opened a final channel, her voice steady. "To every world listening, Earth stands, we don't kneel. Never again." The signal spread, carried by Vrix's relay, a spark igniting hope in distant systems. Years later, the Endurance was a relic, docked in a museum orbiting Earth. Lena was gone, her name a legend whispered in galactic halls. A young pilot, barely 18, stood before a star chart, her hands tracing the Orion arm. She'd grown up on stories of the war, of freighters turned warships, of a woman who defied a galaxy. The stars gleamed, vast and unyielding, but she didn't flinch. Earth had taught her kind to survive, to adapt, to fight. The Concorde watched, wary now, tales of the Deathworlders spreading like wildfire. The pilot's lips moved, a quiet vow echoing Lena's last broadcast. Never again.